In Hong Kong, home for nearly 7.4 million people, sufficient exercise may seem a mission impossible for the majority of the busy working force, despite the familiar advantages exercising may bring us. According to the Hong Kong Centre for Health Protection, which follows the World Health Organization's recommendations, 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity should be done weekly for adults to improve cardiorespiratory and muscular fitness, and above all reduce the risk of non-communicable diseases. Aerobic activities are those that increase our breathing and heart rate. Common examples include swimming, cycling, and jumping ropes. Studies in the past decades have been finding links between exercising and mental health, suggesting that physical activity has many positive impacts to the human mind. A 2017 study finds that a small amount of exercise may improve mood. Then a more recent study concluded that running for 15 minutes a day reduced the risk of major depression. But are Hong Kong people optimistic about that? Let's ask them. How often do you exercise a week? Seldom. But
maybe one
or two?
5 times a week.
For Hong Kong every day, so it's just indoors exercise during this time.
1 and 3 times a week, 5, including stretching.
I don't know, once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks. Why is that?
Well, it's not my thing. Like, it's not something that I really enjoy.
What do you do?
I have 1 hockey training, 1 hockey game, 1 rugby training, 1 rugby game, and then I do gym twice a week.
Usually running and playing football.
What do you think are the benefits of doing
Of course, strengthen our health.
But do you think it's sort of like relief,
yes,
like
definitely.
less stressful than
definitely.
before?
Of course, healthier, and let me feel relaxed.
So you think it has like a possible effect on your mental health?
Sure.
Like it can improve your mental health?
Yes, indeed.
After a run of exercise, I either feel very hyped up and get even more productive, or I get so tired that I'm lazy to do anything else.
How does it make you feel? Like if you on days you don't exercise?
I exercise like 3 weeks, I feel like a bit weird.
I get a little less happy and I get a little bit more lazy.
Working from home, is that?
No, studying from home.
In light of that, do you feel that exercising is even more important?
I think now that I get less of it, I think yes, it's more important because I study in a university in which there's a lot of walking involved when I want to get to the classroom. So now the fact that I don't get that walking, I think, I need to do more exercise. So in that sense, it's more important.
Have you seen kind of your moods shift because you haven't been getting enough physical activity?
Well, I think that's hard to say because it's a combination of a lot of things going on together. But I'll say these days, I guess, because I do move less, I'm more inclined to be in bed, rather than go out of bed. So I think that even makes it worse because less physical activity already plus less activity.
We also surveyed 25 Hong Kong residents, mainly between the age of 18 to 30. What we found is this: 80% of participants said they like to exercise more. They attributed their insufficient exercise to tiredness and lack of time. Additionally, 40% find exercise to be unenjoyable. And although 88% believe that physical activity has a positive effect on their mental health, physical health and vanity reasons remain to be the major motivator of exercise.
To test that, we, a group of 4 college students, took part in a small-scale 2-week-long experiment. In the first week, we did no exercise and avoided intense physical activity. In the second week, we engaged in daily exercise. And every day during this investigation, we took a mood test. We did so on a website called Moodscope, which assesses the extent to which we felt 20 different emotions, such as feeling proud, anxious, and many more. Finally, Moodscope calculates your overall mood. A higher percentage is a better mood. Before we see the results, let's see what the participants have to say.
I usually exercise every day, half an hour in the evening. I feel more productive when I exercise and I focus on my studies. But in the first week, I didn't exercise. I felt more nervous, less productive. But in the second week, I started again. Now I feel more productive, more active. I want to exercise a lot.
Thank you for voicing your concerns. Now let's compare the mood tests of the first and second week. Here's a graph showing the mean mood of all 4 participants across a 2-week span. The red line represents week 1, while blue line represents week 2. Clearly, the graph for days we exercise is always higher than days we didn't. On average, we saw 17% increase in our daily mood when we exercise. Thereby, we can accept our hypothesis.
Of course, there are a number of limitations in this investigation. The most obvious being the extremely small sample size that is just not representative of the population. Secondly, our participants believe that exercising can positively affect our moods, which will make them more susceptible to confirmation bias. And lastly, when we take the mood test at the end of the day, we might not be objective about how we felt that day. Take my friend here, for example. He's been feeling stressed all day. But then, his girlfriend called.
Hi baby, how are you?
And suddenly he feels like life's not all that bad.
Regardless of limitations, there is plenty of other scientific evidence supporting our hypothesis, citing possible reasons such as inducing the release of a happy chemical known as serotonin in our brain, regulating sleep pattern and quality, as well as giving us the sense of accomplishment.
In fact, you may not even need to dedicate time to exercise to gain its benefits. Simply doing more physical activities such as opting for the stairs or just walking faster can be just as effective, according to a study done by researchers at Harvard. Let's all take the little steps to become healthier in both our body and mind.